Welcome to this week's Rogers McHugh YouTube video. In this week's episode, we're talking about how you can win in recruitment. Let's go. Welcome to this week's Rogers McHugh YouTube video. So in this week's episode, we're talking about how you can win in recruitment. Now, whether that is as a business owner, whether you're a new business owner in recruitment, or whether you're running a desk or running a team, these four things that we've put together are all quite similar in terms of how you can win in the business of recruitment, if you like. So the first one is that you need to be focused. And what I mean by being focused is have a niche. Slightly different if you're a business owner to running a desk. So if you're a business owner, you can diversify a little bit away from your niche. However, every consultant within your business should operate within a niche. And I think that in order to be super successful, you need a niche within a niche. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you're in construction, as an example, and I use construction because that's something that we specialise in, what do you do within construction? Do you do temp recruitment or do you do perm recruitment? Because depending on whether it's temp or perm, you're going to be speaking to different types of candidates and different candidates. Do you do civils? Do you do mechanical and electrical? Do you do interior fit out? Do you do new build? Do you do cladding? Do you do roofing? What sectors do you specialise in? Because if you do perm recruitment and you've got an electrical project manager looking for a new job, that's going to be one set of clients that you're going to target. If you then get a job in off a groundworks contractor for a project manager, your electrical project manager is not going to be suitable for the role. All the candidates that you've spoken to for your civils or your groundworking contracts manager job or project manager job aren't going to be suitable for a lot of clients that you're speaking to. And you don't really become known within your sector. You want to be known to a few or famous to a few, because then you can really start to add value to your client base. You can really drive that value through. You can be the go-to person within your sector. If you cover a broad range of sectors or a broad niche within your sector, it's very difficult to become famous to a few. You're not going to be operating at your peak capacity. You're going to miss opportunities. You're going to let some clients down. You start to get a bit of a bad reputation. So again, and if you're a business owner, I would always suggest starting off with that niche and understanding what your niche is and being famous to a few. Then as you bring people into the business to start to grow the business, if that's the way you want to go, we've got more videos on that coming, by the way, then you can start to branch out whilst keeping everybody within the business niche down. Number two, you'll have heard this a lot from me on this channel, but set goals. How do you know whether you're doing well? How do you know whether you're hitting your targets? How do you know whether you're being successful? If you don't set goals, and review the goals and make sure that you're on track. And if you're not on track, reviewing why you might not be on track, correcting the course and carrying on. If you're 1 degree off course, but you just keep going down that path, you get further and further away from where you're aiming to be. So it's making sure that you set the goals, you write them down, you monitor them, and you work out where you are in comparison to your goals. The third one, innovate. Now this is quite an important one because the market will move all the time, and the technology, so we're talking here about this sort of tech that you use, your approach. So what worked 20 years ago in recruitment isn't going to work now. The technology that we had 20 years ago in recruitment, we've got significantly better technology now, and you can utilise that technology. So, if you go back 20 years, you weren't able to build a personal brand. 20 years ago, it was all about getting a CV and probably getting a candidate to come to the office, registering them face to face, talking to them about what they want, potentially faxing the CV out to potential clients, picking up the phone and speccing it in. To people that you knew was right. And don't get me wrong, there's still an element of picking up the phone and That will never go away. However, you can build a brand now. Are you utilising LinkedIn? Are you working with the video interview platforms where you can potentially send videos of yourself to your clients selling your candidates? Are you using sort of AI and automation within your email campaigns? What technology are you using? And obviously you don't want to be spending a fortune, and obviously if you're running a desk, it's based on the technology that your company or your employer will invest in. However, there's still things that you can be doing in terms of there's a lot more round tables now. Have you written a white paper, or have you written in any of the industry press? Have you got a LinkedIn profile, and are you constantly working on that and building up an audience in order that you can become famous to a few? But are you doing it in an innovative way? So again, famous to a few 20 years ago was being on the phone, speaking to them, going meeting them. Now famous to a few can be using the technology platforms that you've got. So embrace it. If you're an old school recruiter, embrace the change, embrace the technology. In another 10 years time, there's going to be a whole lot more technology that you can use that's going to aid your delivery to your clients. And finally, quite an important one, be yourself. So whether it's using the technology, make sure that it's your voice that's going across. I know a lot of people are using AI at the minute, but it's got to be your voice that's going across. You've got to be yourself. You've got to build that relationship with people. The only way you can do that is on a personal level, by being yourself, being the authentic you, so that they get to like you. Because at the end of the day, recruitment is still a sales job. Whether you're selling to candidates or whether you're selling to clients, you're selling your service, you're selling yourself. People buy from people. How many times have you heard that in your recruitment career? People buy from people, so they've got to like you. You've got to get your personality across, but it can't be a fake personality either. You know, you can't pretend to be super outgoing if you're not, because when they meet you face to face, the voice that you've been projecting isn't the real you, and they've got to like that person. So be yourself, be authentic, and I'm sure if you follow those 4 pieces of advice, you'll be massively successful and you'll be able to win in recruitment. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are. How else can you win in recruitment? What other tactics can you use? What other pieces of advice, put my teeth back in, what other pieces of advice can you give to people? And I'm not going to cut that out either, by the way, because I want to be myself, I want to be the authentic me, and I make mistakes as much as the next person. So if you've liked that video, like I say, leave in the comments any other piece of advice that you'd give, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get the videos out to more people. The algorithms love subscribers. So if you could subscribe to the channel, then the videos will go to more people. And we'll be back next week with a new video. See you then.